I think what I want to do is, because it is, I mean, my thermostat says it's 46 degrees out there. I don't know how much I believe that, to be honest with you, but it is nippy outside, as it were, and it's making me, it's making everyone feel like tis the season for some Halloween activities. I don't care the fact that it is September. It just has that vibe right now, and it's making me think of one of my favorite Halloween. We'll call it some escapades. Come on. We don't go on escapades enough now, do we, folks? No, we don't. But I did with a bunch of friends. We did a extended road trip. I drove everybody. We went to Sleepy Hollow, New York, and then we went to Salem, Massachusetts. So I think Salem kind of speaks for itself with the witch trials. For those on Sleepy Hollow, New York, it is based off the Washington Irving story of the Headless Horseman. It's where he lived. There's a lot of aspects of the town based in the story between the church and the bridge and such. And that's where he's buried, in the grave right there. And the town kind of reinvented itself in real life. That is not just the story. Based off of Irvington's tale, and is quite the attraction. And this is kind of to say this is their busy time of year would be kind of an understatement, I would imagine, but is an absolutely epic place. In fact, I actually enjoy Sleepy Hollow way more than Salem. Now, I think you should be visiting both areas. I truly do. Get see the country. It's beautiful. But if I had to pick only one or two, and it's not because of the distance. It's convenient. I'm not going to lie. That Sleepy Hollow is so close of a drive for me versus Salem. But in general, I've always liked Sleepy Hollow more than Salem, even though it's unfair. I've only been to Salem, I think, twice, and I've been to Sleepy Hollow a bunch of times. But I do enjoy Sleepy Hollow more. Some of the reasons as to which. Salem is very, very touristy. Now, this is probably my number one reason. It's very, very touristy and very, everything's expensive now, but it felt like it was always a little bit more expensive there. But again, you can argue it's in terms of a township, it's probably the centerpiece of, that horror goth, enthusiast, passion. So, it deserves to be. Hell, it's expensive to go see a Yankee game, but it's not nearly as expensive to go see a Kansas City Royals game. Facts are facts. With Sleepy Hollow, it's much more inexpensive to visit. And it doesn't have that touristy vibe. Yeah, it feels like kind of hammed up, built up. Maybe in a way, the way you would see, I know it sounds a little bit lame, but for anyone that's seen Hallmark movies, the way like they kind of have like the groups getting together, it almost has like a very kind of happy, locally vibe compared to like in a business manner. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just feels more, I don't know, welcoming is not the right word, but it just feels warmer to a degree. So let me describe the way Sleepy Hollow looks. First of all, if you go when the leaves are changing, it's crazy beautiful. My goodness, is it crazy beautiful. Right off the river, these old homes, the way the hills are shaped, the older architecture that's there, it's just beautiful. Even if you're not a Halloween type person or horror person, forget that. Just in terms of the pure beauty of it, it will really strike a chord for you. I guarantee it. In terms of if you are an enthusiast, so some of the cooler activities that you can do is they have the Great Pumpkin Blaze, first of all. The pumpkin blaze is, I don't even know how many thousands upon thousands of carved pumpkins they have. And you go at nighttime and it's a nice little kind of woodsy trail that you go on. And it's just all of these designs. It's fun. It doesn't matter if you're a little kid. Doesn't matter if you're a grown adult. It's one of those fun, clean fun for all. At the end, you get to walk through a little makeshift tent and you get a few souvenirs because, everything's like a Disney ride. Whenever I went, I actually always bought the pumpkin pancake mix. That was always delicious to make at home. No regrets. You can go with a town historian in the old church who will read you the Headless Horseman, which I just thought was fascinating to just be in such a setting. It truly was. You can visit Washington Irving's grave. I forgot, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the cemetery, but the cemetery itself is just kind of, there's a lot of, I think it's fair to say a lot of big name, I don't want to say celebrities, I feel like that's too strong of a term, but well-known people in American history that are buried there. And just, again, the construction of how they built some of those tombs are kind of impressive as well. Across the way, there is a Tarrytown museum. And in the park, I guess it's a park, and there's like some of the river right there, or stream, I don't even know what you would call it. There's just a bunch of other activities going on for everybody. I don't remember if it was, and I say, because I haven't been there since COVID, so I don't know what has changed since COVID. So that's why I keep putting it like past tense like that. Also, it's again September, so I haven't even looked into it for this year yet. But they had someone who dressed up as a headless horseman on a horse, which was pretty cool as you're driving by. They had some other activities for kids and such, which was it's cute to see that stuff. When I went on my Halloween road trip with friends, there's an old theater up there, over 100 years old. And I don't know if they still do this. I don't know how it works out at this theater still. But we got to see on I believe it was an original movie reel, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho in this theater. So like you heard the machine warm up, you heard it kind of click on, and the way it just kind of projected from 30, I assume it would have been 35 millimeter compared to like a digital. And I remember at the time I go to my buddy, I'm like, dude, this sucks. And he looked at me in total confusion. He's like, what are you talking about? You're around good people, this amazing theater. This is one of your favorite films. How can this suck? I go, dude, we're in the first day of a 5-day road trip. There's no way we can top it after this. And he just pauses and he goes, oh no, you're right. And then the movie started playing. So I always have that one moment with my buddy Mike that I'll never forget. And it truly was an amazing experience because I've seen the movie as I hinted, but it was the first time seeing it on a big screen. It was the first time, I don't know if it was the first time seeing it on a actual film reel at that point. But either way, it was just so much fun and a unique experience. There is was a brewery. I believe it was called the Tap because of the Tappan Zee Bridge. And we're still going to call it the Tappan Zee Bridge for the sake of this conversation. Parking was annoying. It wasn't terrible. It was only slightly annoying. And tons of the fall things like the pumpkin, the mixes. I'm trying to think like what else you would kind of eat or drink that's kind of tis the season for Halloween. I'm drawing a blank, but there's a lot of those kind of foodie options if you're into that. There's a lot of hobby shops. There's a lot of antique stores. And it does, listen, I can't emphasize, if you're a family person, if you want to go solo, if you want to go on a date, if you want to go with a party, you want to go as a family, whatever, go. It's so much fun. It doesn't get quite the right recognition I think it deserves. But check out, Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown, and try to plan something. Plan it sooner rather than later because things do book up over there. But I guarantee you, if you go and the weather's right and you get a nice clear day with the weather, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time.